Yes, good afternoon, everybody. What's going on? Let me know who's active in the chats. Drop your locations in the chats, family. Let me know if you're tuning in with me today. It is Fed interest rate decision day. Super excited, man, to be here with y'all on YouTube. Shout out to you guys for hopping on here in the middle of the day. We're for some fundamental coverage. We're going to get this started in about 2 minutes, man. Drop those locations in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. We'll get this thing started in around 1:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Alright, let's see who we got in the house here, man. What's going on? We got TJ in the house. Sell gold and NASDAQ. I mean, y'all welcome to do whatever you want to do there. I would like to know why you're looking to the sell side. Wally, what's going on? We got Detroit in the house. Hello from the UK, Barbados. We got Houston in the building. New York City, Montreal. Eric's still at work. Boy just says I'm at work. I love it. Cincinnati in the building. We got two from Cincinnati. Let's go. We got Orange County, California, Columbia, South Carolina. Jerry, what's good, bro? How you feeling this afternoon? Hopefully your day has been going pretty well. Colombo, Sri Lanka, locked in. What's going on, brother? ATL, Orlando. Tammy, good to see you. Tampa, St. Jude, what's up? S family, listen, we are here to cover Fed interest rate decisions. Let me pull up some economic calendars, y'all. We are about 10 minutes out here, right, from this FOMC statement and decision. Let me fade the music out here as well. Right, family, we're here to cover the FOMC interest rate decision, as well as the press conference from Mr. Jerome Powell himself. We'll bring that up as well when he decides to begin speaking at about 2:30. We wanted to come on here a little early to give you guys, some expectations of what's going to happen. Right now, the forecast is that they are about to do a 25 basis point hike. This is potentially, if not the last, one of the last rate hikes that are on the docket for the Fed, unless Mr. Powell wants to say something else, but I doubt they will give too much insight on a release that doesn't have economic projections. So we'll have to wait for the next projection one to really be sure. But that's where my thoughts are kind of at. Let me know in the chat what you guys are thinking, if you guys are looking bullish or bearish dollar. And keep in mind when we ask that, we're asking about where you believe the aftermath will resolve. Right? Obviously, interest rate decisions typically, when they rise, will give strength to the US dollar. What I'm specifically asking you is if you think it's going to resolve as a bullish day for the dollar or a bearish day for the dollar. So that kind of includes the aftermath of what Mr. Powell is going to say here at 2:30 as well. Let me just real quick drag this out so you guys aren't in an inception. And we'll see what you guys think, right? Just let me know. You guys bullish, bearish? Where are you guys at on the day with that? We'll take a look at some charts here in a moment as well. Let's see, we got some people saying, thinking I'm bearish. Okay. Yeah, I think that's kind of my thought process as well. I'm going to lean a little bit towards the bearish side after the release. I do expect the initial release to give a little bit of dollar strength. Obviously, if we don't get that, I'm going to be happy with that just as much. But I would like to see some dollar strength immediately come in that we eventually kind of fade off and resolve. Again, maybe that's not specifically today if the market wants to run a little bit, but I think nonetheless, towards the end of the week and beyond, I will continue to look bearish dollar sentiment. Again, though, I will be really looking at Powell's comments more than the actual release, right? I don't really care too much for what happens here. I kind of expect them to do the 25 basis points. The only thing that would really surprise me is if they just didn't do a hike at all. That's going to be a completely different situation if that's the case. We probably won't get any sort of bullish dollar reaction out of that. So let's see what else we got in the chat. Long-term bear, I do think we have a risk in inflation coming back in 6 months because of the strong labor force. The labor force, though, it's been kind of tinkering back and forth. It's remained pretty elevated. It's remained pretty strong, but it's had some months where it doesn't always look so hot. So I don't think the risk of inflation coming back is really going to be a problem, especially if they do, again, like these final nail in the coffin 25 basis point hikes that we're going to see today and potentially one more in the fall. Bearish if they skip, bullish, but if they do 0.25, then bearish. Bearish if skip. Okay, I was about to say, I think you have that backwards, but you corrected yourself. Okay. I want to see DXY go to 102.93 to continue selling. Okay. Yeah, let's take a look at some charts real quick. We have about 5 minutes here. We'll just do a quick little recap on the DXY. So the DXY, if we're going to look at it on like a 2-hour, recently this past week we did create some liquidity or capture some liquidity on the buy side. And right now the dollar is kind of pumping into the release of the news. Let me just get rid of this. This were like some of the ideas we had this morning. But I'm kind of with you guys. I'm curious. I do expect the dollar to pump above this level, possibly even above these highs over here. I think if the market does want to run with that 25 basis point right off the bat, it's probably pretty obvious that we go for like the 101.05 area up here. Now I know somebody said 102. Again, Powell's comments would have to be the thing to push us over 102. He would have to really be citing some sort of data that they'd be worried about. I don't really know what that data would be. Again, inflation numbers have been well. I mean, core CPI, it became a little bit unsticky. I mean, they may want to see, that tick down even further. I'm sure he's going to comment on that. But, it did drop below 5%. So they have to be realizing, at least at some point, that unless that gets back above like 5.2, I don't think we can really call core CPI still sticky. So I do expect some sort of reaction to the upside. Again, off the initial idea that they are raising rates. Again, I kind of expect this to get taken, but I could see if it's going to be like a low volume day, how again we fall short inside of this area. I'm already kind of positioned on the bearish dollar side. I'm just kind of hoping I don't get break even today on the trades that I'm in. Not going to bore you guys with the details of that, but I am preemptively in positions from earlier in the week. And yeah, we're going to hope those stick and then see if we can't close down possibly below 100.46. Again, off the idea that maybe this is one of the last rate hikes that we're going to experience. Some people think it's the last. I don't think it's the last. I think we will end up with another one in the fall as like a final kind of nail in the coffin. But there are some people that think today's is the last. But I do personally think that's a little unlikely. It seems like the path is still as it was last meeting. Let me catch up with chat real quick. Let me see. Brooklyn, New York, what's going on? Can you check GBP? We really don't have time to dig into specific pairs. I mean, again, we're expecting dollar spikes and then potential fade-offs afterwards as Powell begins to speak and hopefully speak some confidence into the market. Hopefully I'm hoping for a tonality shift around the core CPI. News does drop in about 2.5 minutes, which is why I won't go into details on charts because I'll get too distracted and we'll end up missing the news somehow. So I'm going to try to avoid that. We'll take a look at that stuff after we get initial reactions. We're not here to gamble on news, guys. I'm not going to be telling you guys to get in or out of things a minute before news here. Play that game on your own time. We don't gamble on results. We observe data and respond accordingly. But yeah, I am interested to see again on how initial reactions go because again, it's possible that we just grab this and we react down with news here in 5 minutes. See, we're kind of grabbing it now, so initial reactions could be down, but I would like to see initial reactions up just for the sake of deeper liquidity getting grabbed. But it's possible the market just wants to price in the fact this is one of the last. If interest rates come out high, does that mean DXY will fly up? Interest rates rising typically mean a stronger currency, but again, we're at the end of a hiking cycle, so it's not as bullish as it may seem that it's going to appear to be. Again, typically, yes, raising interest rates do bring stronger currencies, but we've been raising rates for what's damn near, I mean, over a year probably at this point. So you're at the tail end of things. DXY just worked above those highs. Yeah, no, I see it playing inside of here. This is all still pre moves though. We're gonna actually tick back because see, you guys get too distracted about what's happening right then and there. But we're gonna tick back and take a look at the actual how the actual results come out, and then we will tick back to charts. Yeah, hopefully we get that strong dollar reaction, and then we can maybe fade it off into the end of the day. That's my idea. Again, if you see the market differently, feel free to share that. Chat's there for you. Let's see, family. We got 30 seconds till news, 30 seconds till the decision. This is probably going to take a second to also populate. So I'm going to just bring up financial juice as well and launch this just in case. That. Close that out too. Okay, family. Got 10 seconds and counting. A lot of liquidity being grabbed on a
10
lot
seconds.
of different pairs right now. And you can see that other voice is reading out the news. Let's see what we get. Still waiting for
Hike 25 basis points, hike 25 basis points, hike to 5.5% as expected. So seeing the Fed here, they're saying the banking system is sound and resilient. The Federal Reserve raising the key overnight rate by that quarter point as expected. Will continue to assess additional information and its implications for policy. The Federal Reserve Federal Reserve says inflation remains elevated and policy setting committee remains highly attentive to the inflation risks. Fed says it will continue to assess additional information and its implications on policy, and adding that they are strongly committed to returning 2% inflation targets. Fed does add that it will continue to reduce its bond holdings as described in the previously announced plans. And Fed says the recent indicators suggest that economic activity has been expanding at a moderate pace versus a modest pace. That was said in the June statement.
So a little bit of okay, I'm gonna turn that off. A little bit of shift in tonality there from June to this release. So a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. You did initially get bearish dollar reaction. I think that's because again a little bit of the tonality shift that he mentioned there at the end. But we'll have to see again where this resolves. I want to hear what Powell has to say. I do believe he's going to come out and cite those core CPI numbers as reasons for the little change in tonality. However, we want to see what he specifically says around that stuff. So we'll have to, kind of play and adjust based off of that. It does look like, though, that we will probably stick to this bearish dollar bias. I mean, if some of this move erases, we probably want to be careful and not specifically play around that. But so far, so well in regards to trades that we took this morning. I'm a little disappointed again in the fact that we didn't get the initial reaction up, but that does give me confidence again in the positions that we are already in from the live trade room. So that is beautiful. Again, I will personally be staying probably bearish dollar side, and I will be looking to hear what Powell's got to say. So this is beautiful. Again, I don't know if anybody is still holding things like EU, NASDAQ, or gold with me from the live trade room. If you guys are a part of that, which is free to join currently. And yeah, I'm gonna keep that bias. So far, again, nothing, no major reactions, which is great. Again, I wanna hear what Powell has to say. I do believe this will stick. But if we do start for some reason to push above here, you should be careful on any sort of dollar pair buys In terms of bearish dollars, like EU buys and so on and so forth. Let's see what we have in chat real quick. Gold hits my break even, then takes off. You got broke even on gold? Did you really?
Yeah, so did I.
Oh man,
Disappointing.
actually, so did I. I didn't even notice that the pair that it disappeared. Oh, that's okay. I have other positions open. I'm not gonna sweat that. Also, what's going on, Abel? How you doing?
No, blessed. Can't complain too much. The good morning so far, besides this break even.
Yeah, but you took money off that, so you were already paid. Although I feel you, it does a little annoying. The market is a
That's
little.
a big fact. I had took out 50%, just like I told everybody in premium to do, or at least take some out.
I will say this is
So
a little less volatile than I had expected it to be.
I think everybody's still confused, to be honest with you, because like gold is
Yeah,
just
I mean, like,
whiplashing.
look, EU didn't even grab this liquidity. That makes me feel like Powell was gonna.
Yeah, EU
Interesting.
didn't
Did
do
you did you hear
anything.
the comments about the tonality shift? There's a little bit of a tonality shift they mentioned.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I say. That's why I'm interested to see what Powell's gonna say. But this EU looks even more suspect now.
I know. We'll have to see if there's follow through. Again, there's no risk on the market for us. I am going to bring up Powell though, and because we are about 25 minutes out from that, but I wanted to just get it ready on Bloomberg here. Yeah, man. Initial reactions so far, not very volatile. Again, I do like the way the DXY looks. As long as this can hold, I'm trading bearish dollar. That's gonna remain my bias. Again, as long as this high that we formed. Again, I would have preferred to see a little bit more liquidity grabbed. It's a little bit disappointing, but nonetheless, I'm willing to take this. And hopefully Powell can again push us down to this 147 level. I still think, as of right now, this is probably pretty achievable. And again, if he cites that core CPI getting better and it not being a contributing factor as to why they're continuing to hike rates, I think really we have a great day, great sell off in the dollar today, and probably for the end of the week. So how this translates on a few other things, guys. Again, we are bullish on gold. I am looking for gold to continue its tear up to the 2000 levels. Again, we just need confirmation from the man himself. And then EU, again, we hold EU buys from yesterday. We're looking at like 111.70 for this week. So far, this stuff does look like it could possibly continue. There's a little bit of worry here on EU with the liquidity buildup and the fact that there's really not too much follow through in anything yet. But I think the market is going to want to wait to hear what he has to say, specifically around this tonality shift.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be important. The tonality shift.
Yeah, because I'm curious if they're shifting their stance on the core CPI and they're going to cite that it's no longer sticky, or if they're going to cite the labor market for some reason. Maybe the shift could be because of some of the labor market numbers, which could actually be more of a worry than a benefit for us.
Yeah.
Let me
Somebody asked,
see.
so if news comes, high stocks, crypto crash down, correct? I'm not. It's a little hard
If
to
news
understand.
comes, yeah, you're gonna have to
If
rephrase
news,
that for us, I
yeah, if
think.
news comes, what? If news comes out, because they raised interest rates 25 basis, right? So they're trying to continue to, tighten up the grip over here on inflation.
The thing is, the market is also potentially the market's trying to both end price the rate hike and the expectation that it may be one of the last. So
Yeah,
it can be a confusing thing for some people that are new because yes, typically speaking, higher interest rates mean a stronger currency, but that's not always the case when they're not looking to increase rates much further from where they already are. Right? It's like you can only do so much. So the market's kind of trying to digest that information of both the interest rates rising and what the future plan is now that we're kind of according to the path they laid out kind of at the end.
hmm
So it's gonna be interesting to see. I mean, if this erases, I think the dollar is probably gonna find some strength pretty easily. But so far, it's been holding pretty well. It just hasn't followed through.
yeah. I don't know how I feel truthfully about what I
I would have
expect for
felt
the
better if it
dollar.
spiked up. I would have felt so much better if it spiked up.
I think we still have some more upside before we go down, in my opinion, on the dollar.
You still want this, right?
Let me
Or are you
see.
looking even higher than that?
Nah, that exact level, right? It's like
That's what I wanted. I kind of wanted it to push like above this high into some of the like if we would have wicked right above this, that would have been ideal in my opinion. But now we kind of just have this expected reaction is like, okay, well, what are we doing here? So,
and that's why I think I don't know if I'm on the same page because the expected reaction based off them should have
oh,
probably
it should have
been
been up. Yeah,
bullish.
should have been up. Yeah. I didn't mean I
Yeah.
meant like lackluster
Um,
reaction.
but even then, like I don't even know if we do get this weakness in the dollar. That's what I'm more so still trying to figure out. Like, damn, do we
I'm gonna
actually
actually open up some of the.
continue to drop on the dollar, or is the market going to react to this data
I'm gonna read through the
as
statement
if,
real quick.
yeah, because obviously right now we're seeing obviously dollar weakness, right? So they're taking the data pretty well for interest rates going up. And that's my confusion, right? If I wanted to see dollar weakness, me personally, I would at least rather have taken out all these, equal highs over here and grabbed enough liquidity before we actually go ahead and just take everybody out, right? I think that would have been the path that I
The
would have been
market
moving
knows
in.
though. The market knows this is one of the last. It's not like it's a secret. I think again, I think
I
the market has priced in again. I'm pretty sure that's what like all this was like us pricing in. You know, again, I kind of talked about that last week. Was like people were gonna play bullish dollar into the result. Like this is the bullish dollar into the result. Like this is not like institutions are not buying the result up here. They they preemptively played it. And that's why we were looking at stuff like that. And again, now it's like they've come to the realization. It's like okay, this is the 25 basis points priced in here. Now it's like what are we pricing in? Are we pricing in the potential for another one in the fall, or is there nothing coming in the fall because the data got better? Because again, they only said they were going to do those 2 additional hikes if core CPI remains sticky. And it remains
Mhm.
sticky for one result, and then now it's not sticky. Now it's below 5%. So again, the market might have priced in the 25, and now it's looking again. This is how I view it. Is this is them pricing in the 25, because this is exactly what I expected. The past
That
week
little,
and a half.
yeah, so
Yeah,
oh,
and then
okay.
now it's like the market is pricing in the idea again that like the data is getting better, or it's not surprised by the hike because it's already priced it in. It's like you have to look at the whole picture. It's like again, like the institutions don't play the rate hike just on the Wednesday. They've been playing it for the past week and a half, 2 weeks. So I think it's really gonna just come down to his comments is what this is, because it's not even like we broke out lower. It's like we're literally just still stuck range bound. So I really think the market is just gonna wait to see what he has to say, and it's gonna purely react off those statements. Because even I'm reading through the official monetary statement that they released, and there's nothing in here that I see that really supports either directional bias.
Mm.
Let's see what we have in chat. I don't know. I want to look for a position now. What I just got. Yeah, I wouldn't be looking for positions now. I would want to hear what he has to say. Again, like us, like we play before the news, and then we play the aftermath. So I already played the before. Now I'm just looking to hear what the man's got to say, so I can play the aftermath. We have about
I'm
20
I'm
minutes for that.
yeah, I'm upset about two things, bro. I'm upset for one about my gold getting hit at break even. Not really, because I still made money. But I'm also upset on how we missed Nas. I don't know if you ended up grabbing a buy on
No, I'm
Nasdaq,
still
but
in Nas.
yeah, because this thing came down and swept
Yeah,
every low that we wanted.
I took test positions once it filled this wick. Or well, I don't know. There's two wicks on my MT4, but I guess once we push below here, on my MT4, this is like actually a wick. I don't know if it's the hourly. Okay.
Hey, if it makes
Um,
you feel any better, my USD CAD got broke even too, man.
yeah. I mean, yeah. So I did
And
grab
it's
test positions
ripping.
down here, so I actually am in Nasdaq. Very lightly though, and then of course I'm
Mm,
still in EU, which I'm a lot heavier on.
okay. Okay. Hey, yo, family in the chat, man. I appreciate you guys so much. But who was on today's call, right? Who was on this morning's call with us? Let me know in the chat, family. Right, because I think even though we got stopped at break even on a couple pairs, it is what it is, right? But I think we still had a really good time, man. I had a great time with y'all this morning. It was pretty lit.
Took that
Let's
on,
see, I
yeah. So
want
Jude's on SPX.
took that on SPX.
Yeah, Eric just
Okay.
barely. Eric got robbed on Nasdaq. No lie. I don't know if you've seen it in the Discord, but he.
Yeah, missed by like
Yeah,
a
Eric, I'm
point.
sorry, bro. I'm gonna play a little sad song on a small violin for you, cause it is a sad
Ah,
day.
bro, I thought you had the sound effect, bro. That would
Oh
have been
nah, nah.
bro. You got
Sorry.
nah. You gotta set up your
I know.
stream deck, bro.
I gotta set up the soundboard. I know.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
dang, bro. I was
I
waiting
know.
for it.
I don't have a little song ready to play. Eric. I got you
Ah,
next time though, bro. Don't worry.
oh, man.
Don't worry, bro. That would have been hilarious. Yeah, I'll have it for next time.
That would have been so funny.
You're right. My sound deck just sits here. My stream deck just sits here unused.
Nah, I'm gonna add that sound to my
I
sound deck too.
basically
I'm not
bought it
gonna
for the
lie.
tax write-off. I don't even use it.
Oh, let's see.
Emotions
Spectacular
running a little hot
vernacular.
right now. My bad, bro. I'll stop. I'll stop bringing it up.
Yo, you could tell I Spy was on the call. They said spectacular vernacular. That's what Ray had said.
Yeah, this morning's trade session was great. And honestly, listen, family, if you guys are not trading with us for free inside of the community, make sure you guys hop in right here. You guys can go here and grab your 14-day free trial. Literally trade with us absolutely free for 14 days and catch the same trades that we're in now. So, that's always an option for you. If you guys are not a part of the trade room or everybody else is kind of in on these trades with us already, right? So obviously we're not trading here on this live stream. We're kind of waiting just for Powell to come live. But that is where we sent all this stuff out.
That's a
Yeah, man. These
fact.
markets are really waiting for him to speak.
Bro, and I know gold is probably gonna continue too, and that's the
Yeah, but you may get
frustrating
another
part.
chance though, is the thing.
I hope
I mean, it's not that far, bro. It's like
it's not
30
that far,
pips. I
bro,
mean,
but
you
like
could,
there's a
it's
it's gonna be tough to try to justify an entry up here when I just had one
I
down
mean,
there.
every second it's getting worse and worse, harder and harder.
I've come to the terms that it's okay,
Took
it's
Nasdaq in the same
okay.
area as Skag, so I'm still in. Yeah, it was I actually had my Nasdaq at break even. I'm actually surprised they actually didn't get hit at break even, even with that test down. But I had some pretty good entries down in these wicks, so hopefully this holds. This looks like it's generated enough liquidity. Again, a lot of stuff looks good, but again, the market is gonna wait for this man to speak, and it's gonna react off every sentence he says. So one sentence we're gonna go bullish, one sentence we're gonna go bearish.
Precisely.
So we will digest the
Precisely.
info, but I still lean towards bearish dollar. I have everything from a technical reason and really from a fundamental reason, as far as I'm concerned, to stay bearish dollar. I don't really see a situation in which we don't go bearish, but he has the power to say what he wants to say here.
I think I'm gonna take the opposite side of your argument here, Skag. I might have to today. I might have to
That's fine. I mean,
be more
if he
so.
cites something, then so be it.
Yeah, I think I might have to lean a little bit more towards bullish dollar, to be honest. And that's mainly from a fundamental approach on how I think I'm gonna interpret it overall.
Yeah, I don't. You know me. I'm not going to interpret it as bearish.
Yeah,
for any unless he cites something that, again, if he says something with a certain tonality, I'll know to just kill that bias. But other than that,
Yeah.
if he doesn't say the short list of things he needs to say to make this go bullish, I could care less. Again, I still do think the potential for like taking this out, like this is still a possibility. Like that's, I'm bearish as long as we hold, basically below. It's gonna be 101.18. So if we do want to come up to like 101.05, like so be it. I'm cool with that.
101.05.
Yeah, but that's not. I still don't view that as bullish. I just view that as just grabbing more of the liquidity.
Yeah, but if we take out that 101.5 level, then you're gonna consider
No,
switching bias.
no. It would have to fully take out 101 like 20 for me to actually give up my bias.
101.20.
Yeah, if it doesn't clear the high this is a UTAD as far as I'm concerned. So
That's where we're at now, though. 101.20.
No, it's not. We're at 101. No, we're at 100.80. What are you talking about?
What dollar index am I looking at?
I don't know, bro, but the price for my
Hold on,
DXY
let me
chart is the
check.
high is 101.21.
Mine is
And we're
tripping.
at
Mine is at
100.79.
yeah. Our price points are way different right now. Hold on, let me check these other ones. Yeah, I see Capital Com is the one you're
Well,
looking at.
I use the futures
Oh
for
nah,
that.
see
So
Capital Com is off, bro.
no, it's you. It's yours that's off.
No, I mean again, look at all the other dollar index servers. So it's every single one that's Capital Com is the only
Bro,
one that's different and is
that's
off by like
fine.
40
Whatever it
points.
is, I can't not trade without volume. I could care less what the numbers on the
I was
numbers on
just
the
saying,
side don't even mean
hey
anything.
man,
They don't mean
they
anything,
don't.
bro.
But when you were saying it, mine is literally at
Well,
101,
you know what I
200.
mean, bro. The highs of the chart, man. Come on. I don't know why it's drastically different, but
Nah, it's crazy. It's how different it really is.
yeah. But it's the same thing with oil. The oil price that you have on CFDs and the oil price you have on TradingView are never the same because there's all different LPs and. But yeah, I have to use the one that gives me volume. I can't
100.
switch to the other ones.
Yeah, see, it's
I use the one that allows volume. I use the Capital Com one. I refuse to use TVC charts. Again, like if you want to use this other one, this ICUS one, but again, like this doesn't have volume, so I can't use it. You can go
like
to the index one,
look at the price on that one.
and then this doesn't have. I don't care about I don't care what the number on the side is. The number on the side, I don't care about that. You guys just have to pay attention to structure, man. That's what I was. If it annoys you that much, I'm not trading without volume. I'm sorry, I'm just never gonna do it. You're never gonna catch me using a chart that doesn't support volume. I don't care what the numbers say.
Hey man,
When
do
I
your
go to
thing,
both
dog.
charts, the structure on both charts is basically the same thing. So y'all
Oh
can
no, the
figure it.
structure is the same for
Yeah, so
sure.
y'all can figure it out.
Yeah,
Y'all could
structure is definitely the
line up your
same.
numbers, man. Y'all can read.
I wonder why they're so vastly different though. It's like a 40-point difference.
Well, because again,
That's
the TVC one. So what's happening here is it's the TVC one again. This is TradingView calculated. So this is taking the average of the Capital.com, the ICUS, and the index, and it's like it's doing the average of that. So because Capital.com is like off a little bit, and then these two are lower. Like, so this one's higher and these two are lower. They average out to whatever the TVC one says, which is probably closer to this because again, there's more of those that are priced like that. It's just again, it's just little differences in the futures pricing. You'll find this. It's very common in oil. Look, it's very common. Look at this. Look, gold on the futures chart is at 1971.5. Gold on the standard CFD chart through Oanda is at 1969. So like, there's always a little bit of a disparity between a futures chart and like a CFD. So it could be that. It could just be the LPs. It's really not that big of a deal though. So Wally goes, not this again. Or no, Eric said not this again. Yeah, we
Eric
went
is
over this so many
hilarious.
times, bro. I use this one because I need the volume. I can't try. I don't trade without volume.
I wasn't. Yeah, no, I wasn't even arguing that. I just wanted to know where the hell you was talking because I was looking at my charts while you were
Yeah, no,
speaking.
yeah. I mean,
I
I
wasn't
didn't
even looking
realize
at
it
the
was
screen.
that different. I knew it was different. I didn't realize it was that different. I thought it was
Yeah,
like
no,
the
that's
difference of
okay.
like 10 points, 10 pips, you know? Let's see here. What time do we have? It is 2:21. Okay, let me see how the Powell stream is going.
Yo, have you ever used the actual futures chart, DX1 exclamation point?
Not for the DXY, but if you take a look at all my watch list, it's all the futures. It's ES, NQ, GC, CO1. I have to pay for TradingView again to get it off delayed data, but
Mm,
yeah,
yeah, because they have the.
I typically use those charts for. Cause remember, I'm about to move to like a regulated futures broker, so for me, like those are the charts that I need to use because that's what I'm gonna see on my platform, not
Yeah,
what
because
you guys see. So
this DX1 is closer to pricing to the one that you are looking at now,
does
but
it
it's
have
still a
volume
little
too?
off. It does have volume, but it's a little off too. It's like,
DX1 exclamation point? Yeah.
yeah, it's right there. See, it's closer, but it's still like 10 points off. But it has
Oh, this
volume.
is still bad because this is 101. This is even higher than in my other chart, bro. This
It's
is
higher than
101.
yours, but it's closer
Yeah,
to where my chart is.
I guess. All right, we got
I didn't
8
know.
minutes till Mr. Powell speaks. Again, the dollar has done a whopping nothing so far. Let's go take a look at some of the pairs. EU, yeah, some stuff's coming back before he starts to speak. Not too surprised by that, to be honest. What's gold do? Let's take a look at gold. Yeah,
I just
gold's
don't
also
want gold to
coming
leave me.
down. What are indices doing? Okay, so yeah, so stuff's starting to fade off in anticipation for Powell. Let's see what direction he wants to push us for the end of day close here. MT4 is taking forever to load. Yeah, the technical lesson on volume is definitely under the technical Tuesday section if you're a free trial or a paid member of the WAP. But yeah, it should be under technical Tuesdays. That's the best place to go because I could speak on volume for hours, and this is not the stream to be doing that. So I definitely not gonna get involved into that right before Powell. But you can go check out the lesson for free. So let's see what we got. Did DXY break above? Nah, it's playing with it though. Yeah, I'm excited to see what he's got to say here. This isn't even Powell.
Let's see.
I can't even find a live stream.
For Powley,
Yeah, I don't think any of the news networks have them up yet.
I mean, it's still what, like,
I
5 minutes.
mean, oh, never mind. I got this. Okay, yeah, they're starting to go live now. Okay. Yeah, because Bloomberg, Yahoo Finance, and the Street are live. Okay, we got 225. DXY again, still playing around by the highs of when news dropped. No reaction yet. Again, market sitting here waiting on Powell. Okay. Let's see what we got in chat. I think Powell he speaks at 2:30. 2:30 he goes live. Hate USD CAD. Wow, what did USD CAD do? Let's go take a look. Oh, okay, she didn't really do
Should have
much.
only broke you even.
Yeah, no, that he did. Yeah, it's Wally, bro. He knows what he's doing.
Oh, I know what
He
it
just
is.
says he's tired of her.
It's because he said that he wasn't going to take a partial. He was going to hold through the news. That's where you messed up, bro. And then again, I
I'm
didn't
pretty
tell
sure
you
he
guys.
did partial out, bro. I think you're just assuming. Pretty
No,
sure
he
he said it in
said for a
chat.
fact.
I'm gonna
He
scroll back
said
real quick.
I don't know. He said in the Discord, I'm
Oh,
not going
did
to take a
he?
partial.
I thought he said he did take a part. I could be remembering wrong though. I can't even find it. He'll let us know. He can hear us. I know he says I didn't. Oh, yeah, rip. Well, that's that, bro. That's the game. I mean, hey, listen, I may still catch the break even on EU. To be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised the way the market looking right now. Yeah,
I
and
think
the
dollars
DXY
still.
trying to push a little higher into Powell's speech. Yeah, we're gonna have to see what he's got to say. Got to see what he's got to say here.
I think it'll still drop, man. I still think the dollar's going to drop.
It's all on Powell, bro. It's all on him.
I called him in earlier. I told him that we need the dollar to drop.
Word, you got power like that, my boy?
Nah, but
Kyle wishes.
I said, yo, if the dollar don't drop, I'm gonna see you later tonight. and it's,
You'll
it's
get
not gonna be
that boy
it's not gonna
Powell gonna
be
be
it's not gonna
sipping
be
wine and
fun.
looking at his profits.
Oh, you made his heart tickle.
I told him I'm gonna catch you walking out of your house. You're not gonna expect it, so
That's
you
great.
might
Yeah,
as well.
threaten a public figure right on a live stream. That's a smart
Bro,
choice.
now you got what is that one
Yeah,
government
that's
department?
a great great logical
Not
thinking there.
dang. Now you got them tapped onto our call.
Listen,
Yo, listen,
Powell an
man.
OG, bro. You don't want to mess with Powell, bro.
Nah, you
Powell,
gotta think about it. Like, what is
like
that? What is that government, bro?
you don't want Powell on your ops list, bro. You really don't.
Bro, what? That's gonna piss me off. What is that government, bro, that really keeps like an eye on us?
Homeland Security.
What are you talking about?
Ah, it's like
The NSA?
the NSA. What does NSA stand for?
National
Oh,
Security
National
Surveillance
Agency.
Agency. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. To be honest
It's
with
one
you,
of those, bro. Now we
yeah,
on the
off the top
FBI
of my
watch
head, I'm
list,
probably getting
bro.
it wrong.
Because you know, if you say anything about like that's like a terrorist threat. Stay woke.
All I did was say I
No,
was
it's
going
no,
to.
it's
All I
not.
did was say I was going to
Just
see him
joking.
outside
Y'all
his
are
house.
crazy.
Just
Or
scared.
y'all could just be good traders and not have to deal
Bro, all I
in
said was I
dreamland
was
here.
going to see him outside his house. I didn't say what I was going to do.
Yeah,
He's gonna have
and
dinner with
then
him.
I wonder what
I
you're
just
gonna
said
say
I
when
was
the
going to
judge
see
presses
him.
you on the intentions of that.
I just said I was going to see him. I didn't say I was going to do anything. I mean, who knows what
Yeah, it
happens?
doesn't. But
You sound like you
there's a thing
folding.
called inflections, Kyle. You should go study it.
Nah, there's a thing called folding, and it sounds like you folding right now.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
told him I was going to see him outside his house. I'm just going to see him.
All
Yeah.
right, quiet. Powell's coming up. Nobody wants to hear you. We want to hear the man himself, so we can make some money.
Yeah, I mean,
It sounds like Skaggs over here protecting. Skaggs is
No,
the op, man.
I'm protecting something else, but you're just not picking up on it. But
and I'm trying to protect
let's go
these
live
dollar
here.
longs.
Let's see what we got, baby. This boy's always late.
Dollar longs in the chat. Dollar longs in the chat. I'm telling you, we're going. Actually, I'm gonna make. Oh, I can't make a poll. I'm not signed into that.
You want me to do it?
Yeah, make a poll. Let's see what everybody wants to. What side they're leading on, right?
How do I do
You
that?
guys seen? You guys seen already what the data came out as? So what do you guys think the dollar's gonna do to end the day? Are we gonna end it
I
bullish
forgot
or
we could do
bearish?
polls. I asked them to write in the chat before, like a.
I
There you
say
go.
we end
There's
it
the
there.
official poll, family. Vote. While we got before Powell gets up. Cast
Let's
your
get
votes.
it.
Cast your votes. Cast your votes. Let's see what people said. Mr. Powell is trying to come live. Bullish is winning. Oh, I accidentally voted bullish? Oh, ill.
Smart man.
Did I vote or can I not vote because maybe I just can't vote because I'm the person that opened the poll. I'm gonna switch to my other account so I can vote.
That's your subconscious mind voting on your behalf. That's all.
No, I don't think it voted. I think it just showed me.
Oh.
It's pretty even. 52-48. It was just 50-50. It was literally just even.
Yeah, no, it's pretty even.
Alright, Powell, where are you at, bro? There he is. There's the man. Alright. I'm gonna shut us up for a second. We'll listen to the man himself.
Good afternoon. My colleagues and I remain squarely focused on our dual mandate to promote maximum employment and stable prices for the American people. We understand the hardship that high inflation is causing, and we remain strongly committed to bringing inflation back down to our 2% goal. Price stability is the responsibility of the Federal Reserve. Without price stability, the economy doesn't work for anyone. In particular, without price stability, we will not achieve a sustained period of strong labor market conditions that benefit all. Since early last year, the FOMC has significantly tightened the stance of monetary policy. Today, we took another step by raising our policy interest rate a 1/4 percentage point, and we are continuing to reduce our securities holdings at a brisk pace. We've covered a lot of ground, and the full effects of our tightening have yet to be felt. Looking ahead, we will continue to take a data-dependent approach in determining the extent of additional policy firming that may be appropriate. I'll have more to say about monetary policy after briefly reviewing economic developments. Recent indicators suggest that economic activity has been expanding at a moderate pace. Growth in consumer spending appears to have slowed from earlier in the year. Although activity in the housing sector has picked up somewhat, it remains well below levels of a year ago, largely reflecting higher mortgage rates. And higher interest rates and slower output growth also appear to be weighing on business fixed investment. The labor market remains very tight. Over the past 3 months, job gains averaged 244,000 jobs per month, a pace below that seen earlier in the year, but still a strong pace. The unemployment rate remains low at 3.6%. There are some continuing signs that supply and demand in the labor market are coming into better balance. The labor force participation rate has moved up since last year, particularly for individuals aged 25 to 54 years. Nominal wage growth has shown some signs of easing, and job vacancies have declined so far this year. While the jobs to workers gap has narrowed, labor demand still substantially exceeds the supply of available workers. Inflation remains well above our longer run goal of 2%. Over the 12 months ending in May, total PCE prices rose 3.8%. Excluding the volatile food and energy categories, core PCE prices rose 4.6%. In June, the 12-month change in the Consumer Price Index, or CPI, came in at 3.0%, and the change in the core CPI was 4.8%. Inflation has moderated somewhat since the middle of last year. Nonetheless, the process of getting inflation back down to 2% has a long way to go. Despite elevated inflation, longer-term inflation expectations appear to remain well anchored, as reflected in a broad range of surveys of households, businesses, and forecasters, as well as measures from financial markets. The Fed's monetary policy actions are guided by our mandate to promote maximum employment and stable prices for the American people. My colleagues and I are acutely aware that high inflation imposes significant hardship as it erodes purchasing power, especially for those least able to meet the higher cost of essentials like food, housing, and transportation. We're highly attentive to the risks that high inflation poses to both sides of our mandate, and we are strongly committed to returning to inflation to our 2% objective. At today's meeting, the committee raised the target range for the federal funds rate by a quarter percentage point, bringing the target range to 5.25% to 5.5%. We are also continuing the process of significantly reducing our securities holdings. With today's action, we've raised our policy rate by 5.25 percentage points since early last year. We have been seeing the effects of our policy tightening on demand in the most interest rate sensitive sectors of the economy, particularly housing and investment. It will take time, however, for the full effects of our ongoing monetary restraint to be realized, especially on inflation. In addition, the economy is facing headwinds from tighter credit conditions for households and businesses, which are likely to weigh on economic activity, hiring, and inflation. In determining the extent of additional policy firming that may be appropriate to return inflation to 2% over time, the committee will take into account the cumulative tightening of monetary policy, the lags with which monetary policy affects economic activity and inflation, and economic and financial developments. We will continue to make our decisions meeting by meeting based on the totality of the incoming data and their implications for the outlook for economic activity and inflation, as well as the balance of risks. We remain committed to bringing inflation back to our 2% goal and to keeping longer-term inflation expectations well anchored. Reducing inflation is likely to require a period of below-trend growth and some softening of labor market conditions. Restoring price stability is essential to set the stage for achieving maximum employment and stable prices over the longer run. To conclude, we understand that our actions affect communities, families, and businesses across the country. Everything we do is in service to our public mission. We at the Fed will do everything we can to achieve our maximum employment and price stability goals. Thank you, and I look forward to your questions.
All right, so now they're going to ask him questions, but does anybody want to comment on anything that he said? Abel, any thoughts? He did cite, again, inflation getting better. He said that we have a long way to go to 2% inflation. I think that's a lie because we're at 3%. So I don't know how much why you think it's a far journey, but yeah, interesting. It definitely, again, still currently lean towards bearish dollar, but we'll see what some of these questions have. But yeah,
Yeah,
Abel,
I don't
any
have
thoughts that you
no,
want to share real quick?
not really. Um, I don't know. I mean, he really didn't say anything too different from what he's been normally leaning towards. So it's not like he said something crazy, crazy drastic. Um, that
No, I
will
think the
cause me
only
to
the only
really
thing that was
change.
different was the slight change in core CPI. Everything else basically copy pasta.
Yeah,
Told
literally.
y'all, man. He followed
Momentum
suit.
remains strong
Let's
while
see what
cooling a
he's got
bit,
to say here.
and the June CPI report
Yes.
actually came in a bit better than expectations for a change. And the June CPI report, of course, was welcome, but it's only one report, 1 month's data. We hope that inflation will follow a lower path but it will be consistent with the CPI reading, but we don't know that, and we're just going to need to see more data. So what are we going to be looking at? Really, it will be the whole broader picture, and starting with we're looking for moderate growth, right? We're looking for supply and demand through the economy coming into better balance, including in particular in the labor market. We'll be looking at inflation. We'll be asking ourselves, does this whole collection of data, do we assess it as suggesting that we need to raise rates further? And if we make that conclusion, then we will go ahead and raise rates. So that's how we're thinking about the next meeting, and how we're thinking about meetings going forward potentially. But we're now mainly thinking about the next meeting. I will also say, since we're talking about it, between now and the September meeting, we get 2 more job reports, 2 more CPI reports. I think we have an ECI report coming later this week, which is Employment Compensation Index, and lots of data on economic activity. All of that information is going to inform our decision as we go into that meeting. I would say it is certainly possible that we would raise funds again at the September meeting if the data warranted. And I would also say it's possible that we would choose to hold steady at that meeting. We're going to be making careful assessments, as I said, meeting by meeting. And I'll close by saying we've raised the federal funds rate now by 525 basis points since March 2022. Monetary policy, we believe, is restrictive.
That statement was so bearish, it's not even funny.
If I could just briefly follow up on something you said there. You said the data in the intermediate period, it broadly came in line with expectations. Does that mean there's unlikely to have been a change in the overwhelming outlook of the committee that 2 more hikes are necessary?
I'm just going to go back to what I said. That's the question. We have 8 weeks now until the September meeting, and all that data that I recited, we're going to be looking at all of that and making that assessment then. And it really, we did have the one good reading, and of course we welcome that, but it's just one reading, as everybody knows. And we've seen this before in the data. Many forecasts call for rates for inflation to remain low, but we just don't know that until we see the data. So we'll be focusing on that.
Thank you. Thanks for taking our questions, Chair Powell. Obviously, you upgraded the language around growth in the statement today. We've seen the Barbie movie numbers. We've seen everyone going to Taylor Swift concerts this summer. It seems like the American consumer is
No
in
way
pretty
she
good
just
shape.
cited Barbie
And it does
movie
seem like
numbers,
growth
bro.
is sort of picking back up a little bit, or at least doing well. And I wonder, from your perspective, if that continues, if we see growth not just stabilizing but doing, performing well this summer, is that a problem because it's inflationary, or is it good news because it suggests that a soft landing is more likely? Just how are you thinking about that sort of trajectory?
Yeah, so I would say it this way. The overall resilience of the economy, the fact that we've been able to achieve disinflation so far without any meaningful negative impact on the labor market, the strength of the economy, overall, that's a good thing. It's good to see that, of course. It's also, you see consumer confidence coming up and things like that. That will support activity going forward. But you're right, though. At the margin, stronger growth could lead over time to higher inflation, and that would require an appropriate response from monetary policy. So we'll be watching that carefully and seeing how it evolves over time.
Thanks, Chair Powell. Neil Irwin from Axios. So as you referenced earlier, in the intermeeting period, soft CPI, jobs reports, still strong but moderating, JOLTS looks good. So if you're data dependent, why not pause again? Why not stay on hold? Why not take another meeting off when the data was at least cutting in the direction you want to see?
So if you go back to what we're trying to do here, we're trying to achieve a stance of policy that's sufficiently restrictive to bring inflation down to 2%. At the last meeting, we wrote down our individual estimates of what that would take, and the median of that was an additional 2 rate hikes. So I would say we looked at the intermeeting data, and as I mentioned, broadly consistent, not perfectly consistent, but broadly consistent with expectations. And as a result, we went ahead and took another step. And that's, a labor market that continues to be strong, but gradually slowing. I mentioned that the inflation report was actually a little better than expected, but we're going to be careful about taking too much signal from a single reading. And growth came in stronger than expected. So that's how we look at it, and so we did take that step today.
Nick Timmeros of the Wall Street Journal. Chair Powell, markets widely believe the median FOMC participants' inflation forecast from June for the fourth quarter of this year will be too high, given autos and shelter, and that by September that may warrant a downward revision in the inflation forecast of 20 to 30 basis points. Would that type of inflation progress be enough to hold rates steady from here, or do you need to see below-trend growth and decelerating labor income growth to be convinced that you've done enough?
So it's hard to pick the pieces apart and say, how much of this and how much of that. We'll be looking at everything. And, we'll be looking to see whether the signal from June CPI is replicated or the opposite of replicated, or whether it's somewhere in the middle. We'll be looking at the growth data. We'll be looking at the
Eric, because I think he's going to just repeat himself over and over here anyway. So let me see if I can go back to that statement
we wrote over time
for you, because it's really the entire market's reacting off that one statement. It's the rest of what he's going to say is
at the margin, stronger growth could lead over time to higher inflation, and that would require an appropriate response from monetary policy. So we'll be watching that carefully. Negative impact on the labor market.
Is that a problem because it's inflation?
The one good reading, and of course we welcome activity and inflation.
If I could just briefly follow up on something you said there. You said the data in the intermediate period, it broadly came in line with expectations. Does that mean there's unlikely to have been a change in the overwhelming outlook of the committee that 2 more hikes are necessary?
I'm just going to go back to what I said.
Yeah, this is it right
That's the question. We have 8 weeks now until the September meeting, and all that data that I recited, we're going to be looking at all of that and making that assessment then. And it really, we did have the one good reading, and of course we welcome that, but it's just one reading, as everybody knows. And we've seen this before in the data. Many forecasts call for rates for inflation to remain low, but we just don't know that until we see the data. So we'll be focusing on that.
I think it was right before that. Anyway, what he was basically saying is, again, they're talking about those other future rate hikes, right? Because there are still 1 or 2 on like the docket, and they're basically asking about that. And basically, the way that I interpreted it is that they have all the information they need. Because I think the question that he was directly asked was, why don't they just pause like right now, right? Like why even kind of go like month to month on the data? And basically the way I summed up his answer was like, they have the data to support stopping. That's what I heard in my head. However, in order for them to be like fully sure, because again, they can't make a mistake, right? If they pause, going back to raising rates is going to spook the shit out of the market. So really, again, like what we've talked about is they're putting the final nails in the coffin is really what they're looking to try to do. So I think the entire market, and myself included, all we kind of heard was like they would pause if they weren't in this position of just having to be fully sure. But the way that I interpret it is that we're probably going to get like no more additional rate hikes, that this is probably going to be the last one unless data suggests otherwise. And it's really just a result of that labor market now. Like he confirmed to me that core CPI is no longer really on their watch list, and all they're really looking at is the labor market. And when I hear that, it's like the labor market, yeah, even his point, like it's been kind of back and forth. You've had strong releases, you've had bad releases. it's kind of back and forth. And you guys could look back to NFP a couple releases ago when like ADP was like crazy, right? ADP came out like crazy high, and then NFP came out and it was like a disappointment. Like that's what he's saying is like the data is kind of like mixed there still. So they're basically just kind of hammering these nails into the coffin unnecessarily, or planning to put these nails in the coffin unnecessarily, just in case that data continues to reflect that way. But as far as I'm concerned, everything that he's looking at is very much just supportive of this being pretty much the last, if not one of the last rate hikes. Again, I doubt we get another one, but he is leaning towards, again, that idea. So the dollar's had pretty interesting day so far. Again, it did come down and fill out this wick. I would expect momentum to kind of continue to trade to the downside personally. Again, I wouldn't be surprised that we do catch a bounce on this wick fill, and again, maybe we don't move too much farther on the day itself. But yeah, the way that I interpret this is like in the longer term aspect of things, as long as the data remains on track as it is, or gets even better, that we continue to bet on bearish dollar. We continue to, again, trade in that ultimate macro direction, right, that we have to the downside. And we continue to look for higher targets on things like gold, look for higher targets on things like EU, NASDAQ. And again, I think a lot of the market immediately reflected that right after he said that statement. That's kind of where you got like these candles. So that the market was like, okay, cool. Again, does this stick? Again, it's probably going to mess around. It's going to do all sorts of things today. But I'm kind of done. I've kind of scaled out a little bit of money. Paid myself on the increases. Again, I would advise people that are holding EU and gold, again, like as you've hit fresh liquidity, always take your money, at least a little bit of it. And yeah, man, like that's kind of how I interpret that. I mean, he's gonna go around with a whole bunch of questions. He's not really gonna say anything too different. He'll put different perspectives and spins on it because these people try to trick him with like nonsense questions, like that lady that wanted to cite the people going to a Barbie movie for some reason. She found that to be important. As if people, won't go do some stuff that they deem as fun. But yeah, man, that's kind of where I see. So shout out to everybody that was looking bearish dollar, all 46% of us. Again, maybe the bullish people do get a little bit of a rebound action here. I would like to know Abel's thoughts if he thinks that there's going to be some rebounds or what he's thinking now that kind of stuff pushed out of liquidity, because I do expect stuff to pull back again. Like this is what we were looking for. We were looking for the break above these highs. Again, on a lot of these pairs. I mean, gold's trading higher, but it's not really going anywhere. So we'll have to see if there's follow through into the end of the day. But generally speaking, a lot of this stuff kind of made some pretty nice moves already.
Yeah, I mean, definitely some interesting moves. So you got the initial reaction, right? Dollar weakness. I just don't, and it very well could sustain, right? And we could see this thing probably trickle down lower. I don't know if I think that it will. I don't know. I'm definitely torn.
I mean, as somebody that was buying gold today this morning, what makes you flip? What makes you flip the bias? That's what I'm kind of curious about, because you were buying gold this morning. So I'm just curious.
Interest rates went up.
Yeah, but you knew they were going to go up when you were buying gold today. So
well, I knew that that was the rumor. But the buy on gold was more of a technical play. It just looked good. But fundamentally, if they raise interest rates, and yeah, I was gonna favor obviously the dollar bullishness if it happened, but
okay, interesting.
yeah.
Sean says I'm gonna go watch Barbie today. Have fun, brother. I have definitely no way I'm gonna go see that movie by myself, and I really don't have any interest in seeing it with other people for that matter. But I do want to go see Oppenheimer. I don't know if anybody's seen that, but
Wait, so you're going on a date to Barbie movie?
that's what Sean said. That's not what I didn't say that. Sean said he was gonna go watch Barbie. I don't know what his life looked like to go see that, but I'm just saying if I was gonna go see Barbie, yeah, it's probably gonna be like a date night type thing. I probably wouldn't just go by myself. No interest in watching that.
I feel that.
My girlfriend wanted to watch it. He says, "Yeah, see, he just going to make his girl happy. Boyfriend duties. You feel me?" But yeah, man, I'm gonna stay bearish dollar side. Again, people that are in EU with us, we are in EU from like 110, 32, 33 areas. You know, we're up about not even that much. We're not even up that crazy. We're up like 60 pips. This is real. Like we really haven't even went anywhere, to be quite honest with you. This is like the world's slowest move that I've ever played. To be honest with y'all, kind of amazed. But yeah, guys, you know, scale some profits up here if you guys are holding from the live trade room down here. If you're not in the live trade room, go cop your 14-day trial so you can get trades like this. Full disclosure, though, it did take us 2 attempts to take this. You know, I'll be transparent. We did take a little 12 pip loss. But that's why we scale some partials out now, and we continue to hold for that 1170 TP. So I'm actually going to go update the Discord real quick. I'll take 30% partials. EU up about 65 plus pips. My mic is on my keyboard. That's 70 pips. Cool. So y'all got that update. Any other questions in chat? Anybody confused about the news? Want me to clarify anything? Have a question for me or Abel? Let me know, because we generally try to keep these news ones short, sweet, to the point. I feel like we've covered this pretty well. I feel like a lot of people made some good money if they were in the trade room today. Again, there's the link. Go cop your 14 days free. That's gonna expire by the end of this week. So if you want the full 14 days, make sure you get in there before Friday, because you will not be able to get the opportunity for a full 14 days after that. Let me see. I'll go with you. You'll go with you'll go with me to go see the Barbie movie, bro. That's cool, bro. I appreciate that. We out. We'll go see it. We'll get a whole group of boys together. We'll pull out. But what happened if Bank America had a bank run? I mean, that would cause a lot of panic in the markets. I mean, it wouldn't be good for any bank to have a bank run, for that matter. Why is that the top of why is that the top of your mind? You feel like Bank of America is gonna go under? But yeah, if that Bank of America went under, that would definitely stir up a lot of fear in the markets. We definitely don't want that. We definitely don't want that happening. We out, guys. We'll hit a double feature. Okay, Nico.
Do you
Nico,
have
see,
Bank
like
of America,
Nico's
Skies?
somebody I would go see Barbie with. That's one of my day one boys. I feel like we could pull that off.
Do you have Bank of America, bro?
No, I don't have Bank of America. I bank with Chase.
What if Chase went down, bro?
Then I would be FDIC insured.
Ooh.
That's what would happen. The impact on the markets would be the same as Bank of America going down. It's not really any different. But I would be FDIC insured, so I really could care less. That sucks for Chase. Sounds like a Chase problem. Barbie movie is full of, yeah, I mean, I know, bro. I mean, that's welcome to every movie. I just enjoy stuff for what it is and throw out the rest of it. Jamie Dimon isn't gonna let either happen. Yeah, I mean, exactly. Like those banks are. I think I've hoped that they learned their lesson. They probably haven't, but the real question is, are y'all pulling up to the theater with the all pink fit? Not the all pink fit. Some subtle pink is cool. Not the all pink. You guys with the wild questions. what with the y'all? Listen, we'll pull up as a group. We'll go see it as a group. We'll pick a theater in a state where everybody could just pull up, because it seems like y'all are really interested in going to see this movie. Isn't Bank of America insuring their customers too? I don't know, bro. I don't know. I guess I don't bank with Bank of America, so that sounds like something they would. I mean, they would send out to their customers personally, that kind of information. But I doubt they're insuring people 100%. Like that doesn't sound right. Oh my God, Trade Locker is down again. What a surprise! Here I go, passing my challenge again, and I can't close my trades. Oh, fun. I can't wait till this app gets perfected. What do you say? Is the bias of G? We're bullish. We've been very bullish on any pair that is that has the dollar as a minor in it, right? So GU, EU, gold, we're very, very, very much bullish. Not that you should be buying up here. You should be down in where we are. But yeah, we are a bearish dollar bias, family. We will continue that bias. I will continue that bias anyway.
It's a shame, man, that
for
gold
some
took
time.
off like it did and left without us.
I mean, yeah, it is, because it definitely tapped me out too, but I got my other stuff running. We good. What is gold at anyway? Oh, it hasn't even really moved. I'm surprised this doesn't further. I was expecting this to be up in like 1985. She trying. She'll get there. Give her time. Cool. Anything final, family? Abel, anything final you want to say? Kyle, anything final you want to say? Before
I'll
we
see all
wrap
you.
this up, and I'll see y'all in the live trade room.
Yeah, the only thing I gotta say is I'll see all the premium members in the live chat room for sure tomorrow. It's gonna be another phenomenal day. Let's get it.
Big facts, big facts, big
Facts.
facts.
See y'all tomorrow, man.
All right, family. Listen, we love and appreciate y'all. We hope you guys, again, got some insight to what we're going to be doing over the next couple of months. Again, we look at bearish dollar. I look at this as the end of the cycle here. And I think Powell confirmed that. You'll probably see some articles coming out soon about all of that as well. That being said, family, this is your boy Skag on behalf of Profit Society. And we are out, and we'll see you in the live trade room tomorrow morning.